We begin once again, though, with the Saudis. And the entire question that the whole world seems to be asking, is there any limit to what they can or cannot do? See, this is not only about Jamal Khashoggi. In fact, it's as much as anything else about the horrors taking place in Yemen as well. We've been telling you now for weeks about just how dreadful the situation in Yemen has become. Tonight, though, we learned that the reality may be even worse than what we thought. You see, the actual number of children that are dying in Yemen because of this war that we've been telling you about, that we as Americans are in large measure funding, is even worse than we had originally reported. Remember the numbers we gave you last week? Well, here now is RT America's Dan Cohen with the latest.
Well, the murder of Jamal Khashoggi has brought the Trump administration's ties with Saudi Arabia into the spotlight. The crisis in Yemen has reached new levels of horror. The humanitarian group Save the Children says 85,000 kids under 5 years old have died since the war in Yemen started. And they say that's a conservative estimate. 85,000, that's equivalent of all children under 5 years old here in Washington, D.C., all dead 4 times over. What's killing them? Severe acute malnutrition. In other words, they're starving to death. This baby is just one of the 18 million Yemenis the UN says could soon die of malnutrition.
When I do the breakfast, I pray that we will be able to have lunch. And when lunch comes, I wonder what we'll have for supper. I wonder what to prepare or cook. And when you go to sleep, you start thinking, dear God, what am I going to feed them tomorrow?
Saudi and Emirati forces imposed a blockade on Yemen about a year ago, and since June, they've sought to take control of Hodeidah port, the lifeline of Yemen where the majority of aid enters the country. In recent weeks, a dramatic increase in airstrikes have prevented that aid from entering. 150,000 children are trapped in Hodeidah city, unable to escape or receive aid. While the war goes on and ravages the country, President Trump says Iran is responsible. That, despite any Iranian presence in Yemen, whether direct or by proxy, has ever been proven. The UN Special Envoy Martin Griffiths visited Yemen to promote a ceasefire. The Saudi-backed government in Yemen has agreed to peace talks in Sweden, and the Houthi rebels said they would comply with the UN request if the Saudis and Emiratis would. Under international pressure, the Saudis and Emiratis have pledged $500 million to address the food crisis, though it's unclear if they would even allow the aid to be delivered. While an effort to debate and vote on U.S. involvement in the war on Yemen was blocked by House Republicans earlier this month, California Congressman Ro Khanna has introduced another resolution to invoke the War Powers Act and force Congress to vote, and now has 89 co-sponsors, including House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi. It's a bill that would likely pass in the new Democratic majority House in January, but with an estimated 130 children dying every day, it's a vote that can't come soon enough. Reporting in Washington, Dan Cohen, RT.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.